the great old age of 2024, you guys are selling racist makeup?
Blackface.
Do you get what I mean?
I can't describe the magnitude of like horror that I felt stepping into some of those places.
You're fighting for sunscreen, you're fighting for tinted moisturizer, you're fighting for plasters, it's so much plasters. Hello sisters, welcome back to another week of TMS Hottakes.
What is this?
How are you all doing this week? It's Wednesday. How's your week started? How's it going? How you feeling? Is it sunny where you're at? Has spring sprung? Let us know in the comments down below. Yeah,
springing into spring.
Springing into
May. I'm so shocked it's actually warm outside. First of all, it's nice. Yeah. In the UK, it's actually nice for the week, which is, rare. Global warming finally working in our favour and all that jazz.
Shout out to the seasonal changes and to the sun.
Come on now.
Spring is here. Any whoosies, welcome to this week's episode where we're going to be chatting about different topics. We have listened to some of your feedback as well. Hopefully we'll be laying better context as well as actually linking these things in the description. Thank you for your continual feedback, sisters. It does help make the sisterhood better. So what's on the agenda this week?
So on my list, I have got scary and interesting. Mm-hmm. What 3 things would you take with you on an abandoned island? Mm-hmm. I've got Drake versus Kendrick. Are we still plugged into rap beef? Mm-hmm. And then I've also got the Sassy Man era.
Oh, interesting. Okay, cool. And I wanted to discuss the Youthforia Foundation scandal, as well as also a dilemma. So it seems like this episode is going to be a juicy.
Before we do that, how was your birthday, Courts?
My birthday was absolutely splendid, fantastic, and amazing. Thank you so much for all the
adjectives, man.
Yeah, no, it was actually really good. It was a solid weekend. Thank you all so much for the birthday wishes and the prayers and the Instagram stories and the messages. Like, guys, it was actually overwhelming. The love was crazy this weekend. I am still plowing through a lot of my text messages and WhatsApps, but I'm so appreciative. I feel like this birthday came with a lot of gratitude, a lot of contentment, a lot of excitement. I spent my birthday exactly how I wanted to spend my birthday. So it was just like, God, I really see what you are doing up there. It was fun. I ate the food that I had been craving.
Literally.
Everything I wanted, I got. I am a spoilt girl. I really enjoyed my weekend. It was so chill as well. If I tell you what I did, guys, you'll be here thinking I was talking about a bonanza. I went to a prayer conference.
No, do you know how funny but also sobering that is? She said, I had the greatest time. I went to pray.
I prayed into my 27th. I went to the Next Level prayer conference at the OVO Wembley Arena, which is in London for our international listeners. It's actually quite a big place. And Joe Metal was there, Ghanaian gospel artist, and Sumi Sola. I think her last name is Agby? I can't remember. But Sumi Sola, you guys know
the
her.
Singer, the one that's
amazing singer.
Phenomenal.
The ministrations were powerful. Your girl prayed her prayer points, and 27 is really feeling like a next level for real. But yeah, it was fantastic. And then I ate chicken and chips after.
Isn't that what you need in life?
Actually so classic.
Do you know how happy that?
And then I, obviously the day before.
The joy that brings.
The day before, I was like, Serena, I'm craving Nigerian food. I really want abula. And then we went to, unfortunately, one of our friends' mums passed away. So we went to a funeral the day before my birthday. But we got to like hear loads of tributes to this woman. And I think that really set the tone for my birthday being around like gratitude and like a reframing around life in general and what's important. But at the funeral, low and below, I got abula. I did. I got abula. And then the day after my chicken and chips escapades, I also got a mutwa, which is like rice balls, Ghanaian dish, and inkatinkwine, which is a peanut soup. And it was exactly what I needed.
It's just giving what you needed. God said
what I needed.
Open up.
God did his big one. Now my tummy is hurting me. But as I've just described,
guys, even that when we came back from that celebration of life, guys, we did something very foolish, I think, quite late in the evening. But we don't regret it because it was so worth it.
It was a very, very good time. Renee surprised me with balloons, cupcakes, brownies, and
full set,
a card with cash. Whole
we need to bring
card
that back.
cash.
No, we need to bring that back, man.
Yeah.
Because people be sending cards or like giving you stuff, and I'm just like, you open it. Not that you're expecting money, but remember back in the day when our aunties and uncles would give us card with cash.
Yeah.
And it's like, who told us that adults don't need that? If anything, at this point in our life, we need it more than ever before.
Cards with cash on my signature, man. A
Come
little
on.
dashing of a couple notes
A
in
little
a card.
bit of money.
I love it.
A little bit of money.
But yeah, my birthday was fantabulous.
I'm glad, man.
Thank you.
You deserve it.
I do.
More life into that 27.
Amen.
It's about to be a
Necessary.
golden year for you.
It is.
Fun times, man.
It is.
Oh, and also happy birthday to all of the Mayborns. There's so many
I'm
people.
telling you, we're out here. We're strong. A collective of spring children.
Yo, I'd be looking at people's Instagram stories and I tap in, it's happy birthday to me. I said, whoa, it's your birthday too.
Same, actually. It's funny because when I put up
Yikes.
on the 1st of May, they're like, oh, it's my birthday month. Everyone's like, oh my gosh, what day? Me too.
Yeah,
I'm
me
just
too, me
thinking,
too.
firstly, it needs to be after the 4th. So, bye.
Listen, if you're on the 4th, before the 4th, I'm sorry, we can't celebrate you to the fullest.
Yeah.
Until
But
we
no,
get to the
it was actually, it's a beautiful month with beautiful people celebrating
I love
life.
that.
Yeah.
May's been a great month so far.
It really has.
And the fact that it's actually ushered in the sunshine, I think there's something special about it. I can't lie. Well,
exceptional. Anywho, you guys didn't come here to hear about this. You came here to be entertained. So the clownery begins. This Youthforia thing. So basically, Youthforia, from my understanding, is a beauty brand, a US-based beauty brand, and they released a new foundation.
Yeah.
Now, obviously, since the rise of Fenty Beauty, the conversations around foundation is inclusivity.
Right.
What is the shade range saying?
Oh, no.
And so, obviously, like most beauty brands do, they send out a whole bunch of PR as well as it rolling out in stores and online, and people buy it, excited for the drop. And the darkest shade of the initial drop, the range, was not very dark, right? So the last deepest, darkest shade was not very dark at all. And of course, we have amazing dark skin content creators who will, basically this is their niche, you know, like something's just dropped. What's the darkest shade saying? And so a creator swatched it and was like, this is not acceptable for this to be your darkest shade. It was dark. I don't think it would have matched me. I think it was a bit lighter than me. So, it wasn't that dark. And then they were like, oh, okay, feedback accepted. We're going to drop more shades. So I believe they dropped one darker shade after that. Renee, the shade was the color of this mic. Black. Black.
Are you joking?
No. And I'm not, I don't mean like Alec Weck black or like Nima Tang black. I mean black as in
Stop it.
Charcoal black.
No, you're joking.
As in face paint black.
Stop.
Color, what, 000, color code 000, black.
You know what the hashtag
FFFF black. I don't know which one's black and which one's white, but no, not a dime of any undertone. So obviously this then brings up a lot of outrage from people, including dark skin creators, as well as other makeup creators and enthusiasts and influencers who are like, this is unacceptable. How can people demand for a deeper shade in your foundation shade range and you give them black? So I guess the way that people were trying to like cover it up was, oh, no, it's not. It's a mixer. And people were like, you can't mix black
in a foundation
with anything because it will make everything grey. And obviously,
are you joking?
Shout out to our Caucasian brothers and sisters. But they were like, I don't understand. There are people who this will match. Nobody. It matches nobody.
And I've also never seen it happen at the opposite end of the spectrum, right? You've never seen, well, at least I've never seen white content creators or white beauty folks like asking for further ranges and somebody coming out with white.
Stark white.
That would be ridiculous.
It's always porcelain, ivory.
They love a porcelain.
Exactly. And what do these things insinuate?
Alabaster.
Exactly. They insinuate an undertone. And this is like what so many beauty people were explaining, that like no one is ever just black or white. I would have thought we knew this, but we all have undertones. That's of shocking. Warm, neutral, yellow, cool, lazy. And it's extremely lazy on the front of a makeup brand whose entire cosmetic chemistry is meant to be about creating shades. like actual shades and not just primary colors. So Youthforia, do better. And yeah, I think in general, for me, it kind of reflected a bigger issue within obviously the beauty space, which is crazy because it's 2024. How is this still alive? Which is just the lack of catering to darker skin tones and just black women in general. Because I always, as you were just perfectly describing, there's always 17 different shades of alabaster. A porcelain, ivory, give me another white shade.
What they call
cream.
Cream,
beige, warm beige, deep warm beige, light warm beige. There's always a plethora. Then you get to the end of the shade range and there's 4 shades of brown. Literally. And they're like, take it or leave it.
That's all we got for you.
Take it or leave it. And I don't understand why, especially in a place like the States where, yes, the African American or the black population, I believe, is 13%. But that's still a lot of people.
That's what?
With a lot of money to spend.
Oh my goodness.
On the beauty space.
If anything, I think that, I can't remember what the exact statistic was, but black women really dominate when it comes to hair care, skin care, makeup. Exactly.
Yeah.
So it's actually well within your interests to make sure that you're catering for black women. Just brown women in general, because it's not even just black women, it's also folks from just anybody that's just a bit brown.
Facts.
Can you give us something?
And the bit that really annoys me is the excuse is always, we're just testing the market.
No.
But why are you only testing the market with white people?
It's also well established as well.
Which is why you have so much proof as to why there are a million shades of alabaster box. but you guys all still have the same shade of brown.
Alabaster 001. Alabaster 002.
Cool tone ivory beige.
And you know what also kills me? Whenever I see like the reviews, I love my white girls, yeah, but some of the reviews make me, I'm just like, wow, the luxury of choice. I felt like the undertone for this was just slightly yellow, so I went for the more neutral pinky tone, or like the neutral like blue tone. I'm like, fam, back in my day when we were just getting into that sleek makeup fashion,
everybody's undertone is red.
Red.
Clay red.
Orange.
Clay red.
Everybody was orange.
You know, and it's mad that we can reminisce on like our childhood days. And it's not to say there aren't other options out there. And obviously like you can't just say to everybody, go and shop at Fenty or go and shop at Iman Cosmetics or go and shop at somewhere that clearly caters to you, because it's like, but we want options too. Like, what if the formula for Fenty doesn't work?
Exactly.
For me? You know, or I want something that is a what's that thing that people never get right? Tinted moisturizer.
Do you know how funny that is? Because you're actually so right. Not a single person.
Do you get what I mean?
Oh my gosh, that's so funny.
We're fighting on so many different fronts. It's like you're fighting for sunscreen, you're fighting for tinted moisturizer, you're fighting for plasters, it's so much.
Plasters. Wow.
You know, and there's this phrase that I came across. Is it a phrase, a terminology? Jeez. I came across it recently. I know it's not recent though, which is people referring to black people and what would quote unquote be ethnic minorities if you're from the West as global majority. And it's true. These are the global majority of skin tones. Do you know what I mean? And like, I'm sure our Asian sisters, especially Southeast Asia, you probably go through something very similar in that, where are the shades, bro?
Courtney, when are you releasing a makeup brand?
You know what it is. You know what it is.
I can see that for you.
Oh, 100%. I can see it for me too. But it's something that I've wanted to do. It's just so capital intensive that I don't know if I'm ready to go for something like that. Like the idea of starting a company that requires VC funding right now scares the crap out of me, because I don't have that much commitment to this idea yet. But once I do, we're going to roll deep.
Keep your eyes open.
But hopefully brands get ahead of the curve, especially brands with the money and the power already to do it, because that's ridiculous. I'm sure this brand is worth millions already. Even if you're an indie brand.
No, Courtney, I need to see this black. Do you know how outrageous
I'm going to actually link it down below. It is black. As in... Black.
Nah.
The actual colour. Not the race. The colour. Like my top black. Renee, let me even show it to you now. It's black. Like... I was so offended when I saw it. Like, but that's the thing. It's not. Wait, where's the Youthforia? It's not the people searching for the Youthforia founder.
No, stop. They said, where's the person at? That is great.
Exactly, because it's black.
Can you send me that, please?
I'm actually gonna put it on the episode, sisters.
Oh my
Hopefully
goodness,
we don't get a copyright strike, but I just think
she said somebody is that shade. Who?
And that's the thing. You can't even use the excuse of, oh, it's a mixer. No, it can't be mixed with anything.
That's great.
It literally makes everything slate grey. In 2024, you guys couldn't add a little bit of orange and yellow.
And you know
or
what?
red.
Every day we stray too far from the light.
From the Lord.
And what are you color correcting with that grey?
And my thing is this a brand playing into rage bait?
They must be.
Or is this genuinely ignorance? Because apparently some tea, another creator said, when the brand obviously came out and defending it, they were like, oh, we created this shade, but we didn't actually have anyone in mind. Like, we didn't have a model that we were going off
Do you
of.
not see the issue?
And then they went out and tested it on people, and it obviously didn't match, but I guess they put on like a sheer enough amount for it to seem like it matched them. Everybody looks like they're wearing minstrel makeup.
I was thinking,
looking like Mickey Mouse.
like, sorry if this is like, what do you call it? Inappropriate wording, but I think the term is gollywog.
Literally.
I think the term is.
In the great old age of 2024, you guys are selling racist makeup?
Blackface.
Do you get what I mean?
That was outrageous.
Who is this
That's
for?
not even a contour shade.
Thank you. It's just blackface paint. So if the aim was to release makeup for Halloween, y'all have done it.
Not even for Halloween, child. This straight up blackface. This is for the Nazi community and those that despise the blacks. This
Not
the
the Nazis.
This is for the KKK,
But
man.
yeah, please, beauty industry, do better. I think there are too many. It's okay to even start wrong. Do you get what I mean? But this is just
The jump.
damn
The jump.
stupid.
It's one thing, and the thing is, it's one thing to go from having like poor like representation of shades, but then to think that you can cover this misfooting by having this one size fits all universal shade.
So here's black then for you black
If
people.
they had come out with like a white shade and a black shade, maybe, just maybe, they could have, had a leg to stand on. Albeit
I don't know which one.
It must be a plastic.
A plastic one.
It must be some kind of malnourished, defunct something. They just, in fact, they're hobbling at this point. But for you to give us the black shade as a mixer,
it's rude. No, I don't even think it was intended to be a mixer because it's listed on the website as a foundation.
and the thing is, that foundation is probably like £30.
Yeah, most likely. So, and I feel like there are sorry we're staying on this topic for so long, but it goes so deep. There are so many gatekeepers in the beauty industry before a product can actually get to market that none of you, no one at the drugstore, none of the drugstore buyers, none of the high-end store buyers, none of the people who were going to put these on shelves, no one in the factory, no one in the lab, no one on the marketing team, not the founder, no one sat there and thought, guys, this shade is black. Like, have we thought about maybe making a brown?
You know those phones that come in space grey? This is what this is
This
giving.
is exactly what it is. Is
That's
there no one who's
disgusting.
black on your team? Is that what it is? There cannot be.
No, there can't be.
Have you guys not done a focus group?
You lack focus. You lack focus. Where was the focus?
Yeah, I
group?
remember writing an essay on this very issue whilst at uni, and it really jars me because that was back in 2017.
That's a long time ago.
That was 7 years ago.
And yeah, in 2024, no excuses now. No excuses. That's horrendous.
Yeah, that's what I wanted to discuss.
Oh, that's really
today.
upsetting. That's really upsetting. Euphoria, do better.
Bruh.
Nobody is happy.
Nobody is
Sort it
euphoric
out.
from this situation. Nobody.
Black. Nah, guys, please click on it to see
Click
the
on
color,
the
because
link.
I genuinely
It's
thought, no, okay, very, very dark brown. That thing is black.
Yes.
Space grey.
Thank you very
Slate.
much. Thank you.
Matte. Matte. Okay, well, to take it a little bit more, I guess, lighthearted, scary and interesting. So there's this YouTube channel called Scary and Interesting that I've been watching recently because I've been binge watching. Everyone knows that I love the infographic show. And this show was basically scary scenarios that quite a few humans across history have been in. And there was a particularly scary story of, I think it was like in the 1700s, 1800s, a ship was taking a batch of slaves from Mauritius to, I don't know where they were going, the Isle of France or something like that. They got shipwrecked on an island. This island was a tiny island. Think the island that we were on in Zanzibar, but with like
Piran Island.
Yeah, but with like minor vegetation, all that kind of stuff. For the most part, it was barren. So, can you imagine what the kind of ship owners did? They built a ship and a boat, and they left the entire crew. They left, but left the 100. I think it was 60 slaves in total. So they started with 150. The majority of them died. When they got shipwrecked, there was about 60 of them left. They left them on the island, built their ship, and went away. And they said, "Oh, we'll come back," and they never returned.
They didn't.
So there was only one person in that like ship that was like, "Oh, I really want to go back." But when they got back to France, or when they got back to a neighboring country, they were like, "We don't have money to be sending ships to go and pick up slaves that you guys dropped or whatever." Do you know how long it took to actually get somebody to go and rescue them? 15 years.
They didn't try.
15
They didn't even try.
years.
What did they expect to find?
They found 3 remaining people.
Of course they would. Those 3 even did well. They probably became cannibals, first of all.
Okay, so they didn't.
Oh.
Which is actually great. There was another story about folks that were shipwrecks.
One went left.
But the slaves that came, they said, "Not in my culture. We can't be eating. We don't be doing what the people in the West do." So yeah, they found 3 people left who had been there for 15 years.
No, 15 years is actually an
on that
insult.
island.
15 years is actually an insult, number one. That is very scary and shocking. But slavery. What else can we expect? If you can kidnap people, and illegally trade them, what else do we expect?
The fact that somebody even came back.
I'm even shocked. I'm even shocked.
And they gave the remaining people, so there was 3 women, mind you. Sorry, all the men had left. 3 women and then an 8-month-old baby. So she had given birth while she was on that island. Oh. Mind you, I really want you to have the image of us on that Zanzibar island. That was where they stayed for 15 years.
Jesus.
The island was tiny, guys. I cannot stress. In like the 1800s.
Oh.
I cannot stress how small that island was. There was there was barely any like food sources. So they had to eat like seabirds and like turtles and stuff.
So well. They did so well to make a civilization out of
From the shipwreck, they had to like melt down a lot of the bronze and all the bits and pieces there to create weapons, to be able to fish and kill animals and have a fire. They built a well. Like when I say resourceful,
that's crazy.
Insane. And they got their freedom. So when they rescued them or whatnot, when they rescued them or whatnot, they went to the Isle of France and they were like, "Oh, we can ship you back to Mauritius." They said, "Listen, no. It's been 15 years.
You know who has audacity? Colonizers. What the hell is that? But then again, what can you even do?
What can you do? What can you do? So yeah, they granted them their freedom when they came to the Isle of France and said, "Oh, okay, you can stay, I guess."
That's actually so
15
wild.
years watching all of these people die around you.
Not after we left you there for 15 years. We're still going to treat you like slaves.
But anyways, it got me down a rabbit hole of people that had been abandoned on various islands, the amount of shipwrecks that we've had, all that kind of stuff. And the quintessential question is, if you were shipwrecked or you were, heaven forbid, touch wood, God forbid, not happening in our destiny. No, because I'll be one of those people.
If my enemy was shipwrecked, I think is what you're looking to say. Because it could never be I.
If a contemporary of mine, not me, if CB dear, not CBB, was shipwrecked on an island, what 3 things are you taking with you?
I think they would.
This is disassociation at its finest. She said it can't be me.
Probably. I feel like a phone is dumb because you have nowhere to charge it and no connection and these things. I think a Swiss knife, if possible.
That's a good
a Bible.
Yep.
I need some
You
hope.
need the word.
Living
That's
hope.
a good idea.
Living hope. I need hope.
That is so funny.
I'm telling you. Might even need to eat the paper at some
100.
point.
Said, keep the word inside you. Keep it inside your heart.
And thirdly, what would I need to bring? Seeds.
Interesting.
Some kind of seed for food. Maybe like jackfruit seeds.
That was
The
so
vegans,
awesome.
yeah. They have convinced me you can make anything out of that fruit.
This is
So for sustenance sake, depending obviously where we land,
Yeah.
if, jackfruit is already growing there,
Yeah.
that's a wasted thing.
That's fair.
But if it's like, girl, there ain't nothing here, jackfruits, we're going to survive on it.
On jackfruits
Alone.
Sorry, that is
Jackfruits
so
and
funny.
fish.
There you go.
Jackfruits and fish.
Basically some version of Akio fish at this point.
How about you? What 3 things are you bringing?
I think I was very similar, having some kind of hunting or some kind of like weapon.
Yeah.
It'll probably be like a knife or a sword because a gun, bullets will run out and I can't do that. What else would I bring? I'm on a deserted. Oh, I'd bring a water filter.
That's smart.
A water filter.
That's very smart.
Because you'd be surrounded by sea. And I think like when I was watching, one of the biggest issues was a lot of people couldn't drink water because it was really salty. So they'd end up dehydrated. So water filter would be one. Probably like painkillers, just in case. If anything happens and it's my time to go,
You got to find a way to deal with the pain.
I don't want to be feeling nothing.
Yeah.
So that's like I'm not trying to overdose or anything like that. But if death is imminent,
Yeah. It's something to deal with it. I hear that.
not interested.
I really hear that. Wow, what a scary situation.
Honestly.
Not to take things really dark, but sometimes I do think about slaves and like how that must have been such a scary, traumatic,
Awful.
panic-inducing situation.
Awful.
Like words actually cannot describe
Awful.
being kidnapped and ransacked and raped and then shipped in like the worst of conditions, only for people to treat you like that.
Like genuinely awful. And I know obviously through like our various like international trips, we've had the opportunity to go to quite a few sites that have been linked to slavery. And I can't describe the magnitude of like horror that I felt stepping into some of those places, like genuinely. And hearing the stories or like that even being a part of our history or our culture is just so sad. Like when you really deep the colonial enterprise, it's like, wow, people had to dehumanize you to do that to you. They had to.
That's
because
the only way.
there's no way that somebody could do that to somebody that they thought was a human. There's just no way.
Facts.
Even with the whole, what is it, the 13th Amendment in the States, 3/5 of a person, that a black person is worth 3/5 of a person. How do you even come to that calculation? Is it a madness? That's how you know the devil was working in those folks.
Racism is demonic. Racism is so demonic, and like it feeds into so many bad things, like the greed of it all, the cruelty of it all, the lack of love, the lack of conscience. To be able to do something like that, like to afflict another human being like that, your conscience must be so withered and skewed.
Genuinely, the devil is in you.
Literally dwelling.
And you know what? Not to say that I'm there. Obviously, I had my like Black Power stint when I was a kid.
Yeah.
But you know when Malcolm X was like, the white man is the devil? Obviously. Don't get me wrong, guys, please. Don't let me be one of those people. I love my white people and all that kind of stuff. But I can understand
where that came from.
100%. Because
100%.
it's only somebody that is infused with a devilish and demonic presence or spirit
that can do something like that.
Chaining people like that, taking men, women, and children.
Yeah. All of the people, all those who were complicit, all those who were assisting, all those who have decided they will benefit and hold on to their benefits. God will deal with you. Or
you know what sometimes is quite bittersweet for me though? Well, not bittersweet, I don't think that's the word, but like, you know when people get tattoos or they're like, oh, only God can judge me.
And he will.
I don't know, sir. If you read the Bible,